In the void of a broken cosmos, Commander James stood at the edge of a derelict starport, his eyes reflecting the scattered lights of distant, dying worlds. The cold wind of space whispered lost voices, and his heart pounded with both defiant courage and the weight of a shattered past. The silence was punctured by the distant hum of unrest, a storm of rebellion brewing among the remnants of humanity, forcing him to confront his failures and ignite a spark of hope amidst the exile. For years, the scars of Earth's collapse had haunted every corner of the galaxy. In the dim light of a fading nebula, James recalled memories of a once thriving civilization, now reduced to ghostly echoes across abandoned outposts and relics of alien wonders. His uniform, battered yet resolute, bore the marks of countless battles fought in the name of survival, each stitch a testament to the sacrifice and resilience of a people yearning to be whole again. The starport, now a crumbling monument to past glories, served as a constant reminder of exile, a stark landscape where the remnants of humanity clung to the fragile threads of hope. As James surveyed the remnants of a civilization left behind, he felt the weight of responsibility settle on his broad shoulders. Every creaking metal panel and flickering hologram whispered stories of loss and forgotten dreams, yet also of potential rebirth. Here, in the cold silence of space, the seeds of revolution were stirring. Haunted by personal regrets and emboldened by the faint promise of reunion, Commander James knew that his journey was not just about reclaiming lost territory, it was about reviving the human spirit. The quiet determination in his eyes belied the turmoil within, as the echoes of exile transformed into a rallying cry for liberation. With the stirrings of rebellion in the far reaches of the galaxy, he took a deep breath, ready to lead his scattered brethren toward a destiny forged from the embers of the past. In the early light of a nascent star, Commander James stood before his assembled crew on the battered bridge of the flagship Aurora. The room pulsed with anticipation as holographic maps of scattered colonies and strategic star systems floated in the air, each a beacon of hope waiting to be reclaimed. His voice, resolute yet imbued with the quiet passion of a man who'd witnessed both devastation and rebirth, filled the room. "Today we ignite the spark of our future," he declared, his gaze sweeping over faces etched with the hardship of exile yet brightened by the promise of unity. "We are the Dawn Brigade, a force forged in loss, tempered by resolve, and destined to reclaim the light." His words resonated like a rallying cry, stirring the hearts of every soul present. Beside him, Walker, his trusted second-in-command, nodded in affirmation. Walker's strategic mind and unwavering loyalty had long been the silent backbone of their efforts. The steady hum of the ship's engines and the distant echo of reactivated systems underscored the gravity of the moment. In a quiet exchange, Walker murmured, "We're ready, Captain. Every star awaits our return." In the adjoining communications bay, Staler, an ingenious engineer with a knack for transforming forgotten alien relics into cutting-edge technology, worked feverishly. His fingers danced over luminescent control panels, reviving ancient systems that pulsed with dormant power. Every spark and surge of energy from these reawakened devices symbolized not only technological renaissance but the rekindling of a long-dormant human spirit. As the Aurora hurtled through the starlit void, fragments of the exiled past converged into a unified call for action. James's speech had done more than inspire, it had stitched together the disparate threads of hope scattered across the cosmos. Amid the rising hum of engines and the palpable energy of a new beginning, the crew of the Dawn Brigade felt the stirring of destiny, a destiny that would see humanity reclaim not only its lost territories but its very soul. With hearts set ablaze and resolve hardening like forged steel, they ventured onward, leaving behind the remnants of exile for a future brimming with promise. The Aurora glided into the silent expanse of a derelict space station orbiting a dead star, its hull scarred by time and cosmic neglect. Commander James and his crew stepped cautiously into the ghostly corridors, where once vibrant murals and intricate carvings hinted at an alien grandeur now lost to history. The metallic scent of aged machinery mingled with a whisper of dust, setting a somber tone as echoes of a bygone civilization reverberated through the abandoned halls. Every step revealed secrets buried beneath layers of decay. Staler's eyes lit up at the sight of a crystalline panel embedded in a weathered wall, a relic of an advanced culture whose technology far surpassed what modern science had achieved. His fingertips grazed the smooth surface, triggering a faint luminescence that cascaded like liquid silver along the ancient circuitry. It was as if the station itself had been waiting for this moment, a reconnection between the forgotten past and the present quest for redemption. In a chamber shrouded in dim, pulsating light, the crew uncovered a trove of holographic archives. Flickering images danced in the air, displaying cryptic messages and schematics that detailed alien propulsion systems, energy shields, and advanced communication networks. As James absorbed these revelations, a deep, almost spiritual connection stirred within him. He sensed that the history inscribed in these ruins was not merely about an extinct race, but also held the key to rekindling humanity's lost brilliance. Walker meticulously documented every artifact while Ambassador translated the enigmatic symbols, their meanings gradually unfolding like verses of an ancient poem. The chamber's quiet murmurs merged with the soft hum of reactivated systems, creating a symphony that spoke of both despair and hope. Each new discovery was a reminder of the resilience hidden in forgotten lore, a blueprint for the technological edge that would need to defy the tyranny looming on the horizon. As the team prepared to leave the station, James lingered a moment longer, his gaze fixed on a mural depicting an ethereal figure rising from the ashes of ruin. In that silent moment, the shadows of the past whispered promises of renewal. The weight of their findings pressed upon him with both urgency and inspiration. With these relics of ancient genius, humanity might finally wield the power to reshape its destiny, blending the wisdom of old with the resolve of the exile to forge a future bright with possibility. In the dim light of the Aurora's recirculated atmosphere, the corridors buzzed with hushed conversations and the occasional clink of metallic tools. The steady hum of the ship's engines, a constant reminder of their relentless journey, formed a subtle backdrop to the intimate debates unfolding in private quarters. Here, beneath the ever-watchful gaze of distant stars, the crew's collective memories of exile clashed with visions of a reborn future. In a cramped meeting room, softened by the flickering blue glow of a holographic star map, Walker and Ambassador huddled over scattered data pads. Walker's furrowed brow and deliberate gestures conveyed his unspoken concern. James must understand, he murmured, his voice edged with both urgency and apprehension, that unity isn't just about following orders, it's about reconciling our past scars with the promise of tomorrow. His tone, laden with both tactical insight and raw emotion, spoke to the deep fissures within the fleet, personal regrets, shattered dreams, and the uncertainty of a path uncharted. Ambassador, her eyes reflecting a lifetime of diplomatic negotiations, nodded slowly. "Every decision we make carries the weight of our history," she replied, her voice soft yet resolute. "Our people have suffered too long in silence. They deserve a future where their voices aren't just echoes of dissent, but the clarion call of liberation." Her words, like seeds scattered on fertile ground, sparked quiet resolve among the gathering, yet hinted at the internal conflict tearing at the seams of their unity. In a quieter corner, David, the young pilot whose soul brimmed with both excitement and vulnerability, recounted his personal journey. Seated against a wall adorned with faded insignias of battles past, he confessed, "I've seen the void up close, felt the icy grip of fear as we raced through hostile nebulae. But every time I look up at the stars, I remember, this isn't just survival. It's about finding who we are beyond the darkness." His confession, raw and unfiltered, resonated with others who had witnessed loss and the cost of war, evoking memories of friends lost and dreams nearly forgotten. The dialogue that threaded through these moments wasn't solely a recount of hardship, it was a forging of identity. Each whispered word and tentative hope served as a counterpoint to the iron discipline imposed by Admiral John's doctrines. Here, within the safe confines of their shared space, dissent was not a threat but a necessary ingredient for growth. The crew's discontent was a quiet, simmering rebellion against the suffocating legacy of exile, a subtle insistence that every scar told a story of survival and every act of defiance could seed a revolution. Between the sparks of conversation, the ship's ambient sounds seemed to weave a tapestry of memories and future possibilities. The distant clatter of a closing bulkhead, the soft murmur of reactivated systems, and even the occasional creak of aging metal formed a chorus that underscored the impermanence of their current state. A transient pause before the inevitable storm of conflict. As the discussions deepened, personal narratives began to intertwine with broader ideological stances. Walker, ever the pragmatist, cautioned, "If we allow these dissenting whispers to splinter our resolve, Admiral John will find it easier to shatter us completely. We must harness our discontent, channel it into a collective strength." His pragmatic insistence was met by Ambassador's measured counter, "Yet, true unity comes from acknowledging our differences, from understanding that every dissent is a sign that our people are still fighting for their own truth." Their dialogue swirled around the complexities of leadership, sacrifice, and the burden of expectation. The crew's words painted a picture of a fractured yet resilient community, a mosaic of voices that, when united, could challenge the authoritarian grip of the Iron Dominion. Through these exchanges, the layers of personal histories, ideological divides, and the unyielding hope for a brighter future merged into a powerful testament to the human spirit. As the meeting drew to a close, the room fell into a reflective silence. In that stillness, the echoes of dissent did not signify division, but rather the stirring of potential, a latent force waiting to be shaped into a unified front. Outside, the stars continued to glitter in the endless night, each one a silent witness to the ongoing battle for the soul of humanity. In the quiet aftermath of these whispered debates, the crew of the Aurora felt a renewed sense of purpose, a conviction that in embracing their diverse voices, they would forge a destiny that transcended the legacy of exile. In a stark contrast to the hopeful stirrings aboard the Aurora, a cold, methodical figure ruled from the heart of an imposing dreadnought, Admiral John's flagship, Obsidian Ray. Within the austere command chamber, a space of shadowed corridors and harsh, angular designs, Admiral John surveyed his empire with a gaze as unforgiving as the void outside. Dim, red-tinted lights bathed the room in an atmosphere of calculated menace, mirroring the steely resolve in his eyes. Every detail of his surroundings spoke of control and power. The walls were adorned with holographic screens displaying real-time battle simulations and strategic maps, each indicating the spread of his iron grip across shattered star systems. Cold machinery hummed in precise synchrony, its mechanical cadence punctuating the silence, a symphony of dominance orchestrated by a man who believed that order was the only salvation for humanity. Admiral John's presence was both commanding and chilling. His voice, low and unyielding, resonated throughout the command center as he addressed his trusted lieutenants. "Our strength lies not in hope or dreams, but in the relentless pursuit of order," he intoned, his tone imbued with a steely certainty that brooked no opposition. "The exiled remnants of humanity have been weakened by chaos. It is our duty to forge them anew through discipline and control." Around him, his officers, each handpicked for their ruthlessness and tactical acumen, nodded in silent accord. The metallic clink of their uniforms as they adjusted to his every directive underscored an unspoken pact, loyalty to a vision where fear was the tool of governance and strength reigned supreme. In a private corner of the chamber, a subordinate reported the latest developments, murmurs of dissent among the rebel fleet and whispers of Commander James rallying his own forces. John's lips curled into a slight, knowing smile. To him, these were mere distractions, fleeting sparks in a grand design that would soon burn them all into submission. The Admiral's mind, as sharp and calculated as the cutting edge of a plasma blade, shifted to the technological marvels at his disposal. Forbidden biotech enhancements and secret experimental weapons, crafted in the dark recesses of illicit research facilities, lay in wait like dormant predators. These devices, his prized acquisitions from lost alien civilizations, were now primed for use. They were not just tools of war, but symbols of his unyielding belief in control over chaos. In the glint of a small, intricate device on his console, one could almost see the reflection of his ambition, unyielding, relentless, and cold. As the obsidian rain surged through the void, slicing through nebulae and starfields with precise intent, Admiral John immersed himself in tactical briefings and simulated maneuvers. Every decision was calculated, every movement measured. In private moments, away from the scrutinizing eyes of his officers, he would stare at a portrait, a faded image of a once thriving Earth, now a reminder of what had been lost to disorder. In that silent reflection, a fervent resolve hardened within him. Humanity's past was marred by chaos, and only through his iron discipline could the future be secured. Within the command center, the atmosphere was electric with anticipation. The imminent clash with the Dawn Brigade, led by Commander James, was not merely a battle of fleets, it was an ideological war. Admiral John saw himself as the necessary force to reinstate order on a fractured human spirit, to rebuild from the ashes with an unbreakable, uncompromising hand. The stark lines of the obsidian rain, its relentless engines propelling it toward destiny, mirrored the unyielding path he envisioned for humanity, one of strict control, calculated sacrifice, and absolute power. In that moment, as the echoes of distant star systems resonated through the vastness of space, Admiral John's conviction reached its zenith. The Iron Dominion was rising, a formidable force of order ready to quench the rebellious flames of exile. And as the Admiral's eyes locked on the holographic battle map, a single, chilling thought resonated. Soon, every corner of the cosmos would know the price of defiance. The vast emptiness of space shimmered with an unspoken promise as the Aurora emerged from a nebulous mist. In the ship's strategic command room, a mosaic of holographic star maps and shifting constellations illuminated determined faces. Commander James, flanked by his closest allies, convened an urgent assembly. Every display flickered with encrypted coordinates, pinpointing locations where abandoned outposts and long-forgotten relics of alien technology lay dormant. Keys to turning the tide. Walker, ever the strategist, outlined the fleet's next maneuvers with precise gestures. Our allies are scattered, hidden among ruins and rebel outposts. We must reach out, unite their voices with ours, he urged, his tone resonating with the gravity of the mission. His words were met by nods of resolve, the room filled with an electric anticipation that transcended the cold sterility of starship corridors. In a secluded communications bay, Ambassador initiated a series of diplomatic transmissions. Her fingers danced over the controls, sending nuanced messages into the ether, each one laden with the hope of bridging ideological divides. The crisp, clear tones of her voice carried across the void, establishing contact with independent colony leaders, renegade scientists, and even small militias clinging to the dream of renewal. Each response, some tentative, others fervently supportive, wove together a tapestry of newfound alliances. Meanwhile, Staler, with the intensity of a man possessed by both curiosity and purpose, interfaced with the ancient relics they had collected. In his cramped workshop, lit by the gentle hum of reactivated alien circuits, he painstakingly integrated these relics into modern starship systems. Sparks danced like fireflies in the dim light as he calibrated the relics to enhance the Aurora's navigational arrays and defensive shields. His work was both art and science, a melding of millennia-old wisdom with cutting-edge innovation, promising a decisive edge in the looming conflict. Amidst these technical endeavors, David piloted a shuttle through a labyrinth of derelict satellite stations. Each station, cloaked in the debris of forgotten battles, now served as a rendezvous point for emerging rebel forces. His heart raced with both adrenaline and purpose, each pulse a reminder that this was more than a mission, it was a turning point in the struggle for freedom. His interactions with diverse crews across these stations were marked by shared tales of loss and hope, the universal language of resilience echoing in every word. As the Aurora sailed deeper into the cosmic void, a symphony of coordinated efforts unfolded. Commander James orchestrated the integration of each new ally, his steady voice guiding the process like a conductor leading an orchestra. The alliance, fragile yet imbued with unyielding determination, grew stronger with every confirmed transmission and every successful system integration. In the dim glow of interstellar space, the disparate fragments of humanity began to coalesce into a formidable force, one that would stand united against the oppressive might of Admiral John's Iron Dominion. With alliances formed and technology primed, the crew of the Aurora felt the gravity of their shared destiny. The void, once a silent expanse of isolation, now pulsed with the vibrant energy of collective hope. As they set their course for the next strategic outpost, the unity born in these moments promised that the rising rebellion would soon become an unstoppable tidal wave, a force determined to reclaim not just territory, but the very soul of humanity. A thunderous roar shattered the quiet of space as the fleet plunged into battle. The Aurora and its allied ships broke formation in a dazzling burst of radiant energy, their engines flaring against the velvet darkness. Commander James, stationed at the bridge, felt his pulse quicken as the first salvo of plasma torpedoes streaked across the void like fiery comets. The starry backdrop transformed into a chaotic battleground, a ballet of light and destruction where every move could mean survival or obliteration. The void erupted with the clamor of combat. Walker's strategic commands resonated over the intercom, urging his comrades to adopt evasive maneuvers and counterstrikes. Divert power to the shields. Engage evasive thrust, he ordered with precision, his voice cutting through the clamor of alarms and the distant echo of exploding vessels. His words were met with the resolute determination of a crew that had honed its skills through the crucible of exile and strife. Amid the chaos, David maneuvered his agile fighter craft with daring brilliance, weaving through bursts of enemy fire. The cockpit vibrated under the strain of high-velocity impacts, yet his eyes remained fixed on the target, a looming, ominous warship of Admiral John's Iron Dominion. In the silent, high-stakes dance of dogfights, every split second was a testament to human resilience. The adrenaline surged as his fighter dodged a trail of ionized debris, and he retaliated with calculated bursts from his laser cannons, leaving behind streaks of luminous energy against the darkness. On the Aurora's deck, Staler was a flurry of focused energy. In the control room illuminated by cascading holograms of tactical data, his deft hands recalibrated alien relic systems to reinforce the fleet's defenses. Sparks of ancient energy mingled with the modern pulse of starship power, forming an awe-inspiring mesh of technology that glowed like an aurora in the night. Each flicker of light on his console was a promise, a silent vow that the past and present could merge to defy the inevitable. Amid this interstellar maelstrom, Commander James's gaze remained unflinching. His eyes, hardened by loss yet alight with hope, scanned the starfield for signs of enemy advancement. The chorus of battle, distant explosions, the relentless barrage of laser fire, and the mechanical hum of activated systems provided a grim symphony to his command. Every decision, every calculated maneuver, was not just a tactical choice but a declaration that humanity's fight for rebirth was underway. As the conflict intensified, Admiral John's fleet pressed in with unyielding force. A barrage of high-velocity projectiles crisscrossed the cosmos, and the shockwaves of impact rippled across the Allied formation. The interstellar battlefield became a living canvas of chaos, a swirl of blazing trails, shimmering energy fields, and the piercing cries of defiant hearts. In that moment, every captain, every soldier aboard the Dawn Brigade knew that the outcome of this storm would echo in the annals of history. In the midst of the fray, a brief, electrifying pause fell over the chaos as a massive enemy cruiser loomed before the Aurora. Time seemed to stretch, encapsulating the silent determination in James's eyes and the unwavering spirit of his crew. In that suspended moment, the storm of battle encapsulated both the ferocity of conflict and the indomitable will to overcome. The interstellar tempest roared on, a relentless reminder that in the vast, unyielding darkness, the light of human hope blazed brightest when challenged by the deepest shadows. In the midst of the raging interstellar battle, a deeper, quieter war was unfolding within the hearts of those aboard the Aurora. As the cacophony of explosions and frantic orders reverberated through the ship, Commander James retreated to a dimly lit observation deck, a sanctuary away from the relentless clamor of war. Here, the endless expanse of starlight and the solemn silence of the void allowed him to confront the weight of his choices and the true cost of the conflict. The deck's panoramic window framed a tapestry of cosmic wonder, a swirling nebula of violet and indigo, its colors dancing softly in the backdrop of shattered constellations. In that reflective solitude, James pondered the ideological chasm that separated him from Admiral John. His mind replayed the clashing voices of dissent, the fervent debates and quiet conversations that had defined the past weeks. It was not merely a battle of firepower and technology, but a crucible where the very soul of humanity was being tested. Across the ship, within a modest conference chamber, Walker and Ambassador convened with other trusted officers. A low, measured conversation unfolded as they scrutinized intelligence reports and shared personal revelations. Walker, ever the strategist, broke the silence with a pensive tone. Every tactical decision we make carries a moral weight, as if each star we reclaim also rekindles a spark of hope or deepens our scars. His words resonated with the assembled crew, each nod of agreement underscoring the shared burden of leadership and sacrifice. Ambassador, her voice soft but unyielding, added, "Our people look to us not just for safety, but for the promise of a future where freedom and compassion define us, rather than the cold precision of control." Her conviction underscored the moral dilemma at the heart of the conflict, the stark choice between a rigid, authoritarian order and a future built on resilience, diversity, and hope. Their dialogue, laced with both practical concern and idealistic yearning, mirrored the inner turmoil experienced by every soul aboard the Aurora. In a quiet corner of the ship, David, still shaken from the immediacy of battle, sat with a group of young recruits. The raw vulnerability in his voice as he recounted near-death experiences and personal losses resonated deeply with them. Each flash of light, every explosion, "It's not just a burst of energy, it's the shattering of a dream," he murmured, his words laden with both sorrow and determination. The recruits listened intently, their eyes wide with a mixture of fear and awe, as they absorbed the harsh truths of war alongside the possibility of a reborn humanity. Back on the bridge, Staler's fingers moved deftly over holographic displays as he recalibrated the ship's defenses. Amid the technical precision of his work, there was an undercurrent of philosophical reflection, a silent dialogue between man and machine about the nature of progress and the price of survival. Each recalibrated sensor, every enhanced shield, was not only a tactical necessity but a symbol of the fusion between ancient wisdom and modern resolve. As the minutes slipped into hours, the Aurora pulsed with a dual rhythm of external conflict and internal reckoning. The heart of the ship, and the hearts of its crew, beat with the recognition that this war was as much about redefining what it meant to be human as it was about territorial conquest. In those profound moments, amid the echoes of clashing ideologies and whispered doubts, the true essence of the struggle emerged. a relentless quest to reclaim not only the stars but the very soul of a fractured civilization. The cosmos trembled as the two mighty fleets converged in the void, a titanic collision of light and shadow where every star bore witness to humanity's fate. The Aurora led the Dawn Brigade into the heart of the enemy formation, its sleek hull scarred by countless battles yet radiating the fierce glow of determination. Ahead, Admiral John's colossal warship, the Obsidian Rain, loomed like a dark monolith, its angular silhouette exuding an aura of absolute power and ruthless order. As the battle raged, plasma fire and laser bolts streaked across the blackness, transforming the void into a surreal storm of radiant explosions and spiraling debris. Commander James stood resolute on the bridge, his eyes fixed on the unfolding chaos. Every command he issued, each precise adjustment to the ship's defenses, was imbued with the weight of every sacrifice made in the name of hope. The air buzzed with the sound of alarms, the frantic clatter of crew members at their consoles, and the relentless hum of the ship's engines as they pushed the Aurora forward into the fray. In the midst of this interstellar maelstrom, the decisive moment drew near. With the Aurora now only a few clicks away from the enemy flagship, a palpable tension filled the bridge, a silence that belied the storm of conflict outside. In a moment suspended between chaos and clarity, Commander James locked his gaze on the holographic display of the enemy vessel. Every fiber of his being surged with determination. He recalled the faces of his crew, the whispers of dissent that had united them, and the burning desire to restore the fragmented spirit of humanity. There was no turning back now. Far from the strategic calculations and technical displays, a personal duel was set to unfurl. In a secondary command module, a sanctum of private resolve and heated strategy, James prepared to engage Admiral John in the ultimate confrontation. The dark, oppressive ambience of the Obsidian Rain had been replaced in James's mind by the collective memory of lost dreams and the promise of a reborn future. Every missile launched and every evasive maneuver executed by the Aurora was a testament to that promise. Amid the flashing red warnings and the cascade of energy pulses, the two leaders finally came face to face through a secure holographic link, a spectral meeting set against the backdrop of a dying star. Admiral John's voice, measured and icy, broke the silence. "Your rebellion ends here, James. Surrender the hope you cling to, and I may yet show mercy." His words were laced with an unyielding belief in the sanctity of control and order, a creed forged in the fires of his own losses and ambitions. James's reply was resolute, his tone a blend of defiance and sorrow. "You see only the broken pieces of our past, John. But it is from these very fragments that we build our future. We fight not for power, but for the right to dream again." His words echoed across the divide, resonating with every soul aboard the Aurora and challenging the stark philosophy of his enemy. In that charged moment, as battle lines blurred and the cosmic ballet of destruction and creation reached its zenith, the two forces clashed with an intensity that defied description. The Aurora's fleet surged forward with renewed vigor, the combined might of every allied vessel converging like a tidal wave upon the Iron Dominion. Explosions rippled through space, and the void became a canvas painted with the colors of valor and sacrifice. Every maneuver, every exchange of fire, brought the fleets closer to the defining climax of their war, a collision of wills that would decide the future of a civilization. As Commander James steered the Aurora into the heart of the enemy, his vision blurred by the conflux of past regrets and future hope, the final stand was upon them. The cosmos itself seemed to hold its breath, waiting to see whether the indomitable spirit of humanity could rise from the ashes of tyranny or be swallowed by the relentless darkness of control. In that eternal moment of confrontation, the destiny of millions hung in the balance, a testament to the timeless battle between despair and hope, between the cold tyranny of order and the vibrant, unpredictable spark of freedom. As the swirling embers of cosmic conflict began to settle, the battered fleet of the Dawn Brigade coalesced into a fragile, yet determined formation. The vast darkness of space, once lit by the chaos of battle, now revealed a serene tapestry of starlight and hope. Commander James stood on the bridge of the Aurora, his gaze fixed on the emerging horizon where the first blush of a new star painted the void with gentle hues of orange and lavender. The once roiling tempest of war had subsided into an eerie calm, a silence that heralded not an end, but a rebirth. The debris of shattered vessels and the lingering remnants of plasma fire told a story of sacrifice and valor. Around him, the crew moved with a somber yet resolute purpose. Walker, his face streaked with fatigue and triumph, coordinated the salvage of critical technology and the rescue of stranded allies. Ambassador's steady hands worked to re-establish communication with the newly allied colonies scattered across the star systems, each message carrying the promise of unity and shared destiny. Even David, the young pilot whose courage had soared amidst the chaos, took a moment to honor the fallen, his eyes reflecting both sorrow and the unyielding spark of determination. In the aftermath of the final stand, the once formidable obsidian rain lay in ruins, a stark symbol of the oppressive reign that Admiral John had embodied. Its remnants drifted silently, a testament to the cost of tyranny and the strength of the human spirit when united by a common cause. The remnants of Admiral John's fleet, now leaderless and scattered, faded into the cosmic background, leaving behind echoes of a regime that had crumbled under the weight of its own ambition. Commander James moved among his people with a quiet dignity, his every step a reminder of the burdens and victories of the past. In a solemn assembly aboard the Aurora, he addressed his crew, his voice resonant with the wisdom of hard-won experience and the promise of renewal. "Today, we stand at the threshold of a new beginning," he declared, his eyes sweeping over faces illuminated by hope. "Our scars bear witness to the trials we have endured, but they also map the path to a future where every soul is free to dream, to rebuild, and to flourish." The crew responded with a unified cheer, a sound that mingled with the hum of reactivated engines and the gentle pulse of reawakened technology. It was not a celebration of victory alone, but a tribute to the indomitable spirit of humanity that had refused to be defined by exile or despair. The alliance forged in the crucible of war now shimmered with potential, each member contributing to the rebuilding of a civilization that was both ancient and reborn. Outside, the cosmos continued its silent vigil. Nebulae glowed like celestial canvases, their vibrant colors reflecting the resurgence of life and creativity. The Aurora charted a course toward a distant star, a beacon of promise and possibility. Along this path, the once disparate fragments of human existence would be woven into a tapestry of renewed hope and collective strength. In every repaired sensor and reactivated communication channel, the whispers of the past mingled with the clarion call of tomorrow. In the following days, as the Dawn Brigade set up new outposts and began the arduous work of reconstruction, each step forward was marked by both reflection and resolve. Staler and his team continued to unlock the secrets of alien relics, blending ancient technologies with human innovation to craft defenses and systems that would secure the future. Walker and Ambassador spearheaded diplomatic missions, reuniting scattered colonies and nurturing the fragile bonds of trust that had been reignited by shared adversity. At the heart of this renewal, Commander James found solace in quiet moments of introspection. Alone on the observation deck, he gazed out at the infinite expanse, a canvas awaiting the brushstrokes of a new era. The trials of exile had forged a resilience that could not be extinguished, and the echoes of loss now served as a foundation upon which dreams could be rebuilt. Each star, each distant world, beckoned with the promise of discovery and the rekindling of a forgotten legacy. In that serene twilight of conflict and rebirth, the spirit of humanity shone brightly. The dawn was not merely a break in the darkness. It was the collective heartbeat of a people who had refused to succumb to despair. Their journey had been one of pain and sacrifice, yet it was also a testament to the boundless capacity for renewal that lay within every heart. As the Aurora sailed steadily toward the future, the legacy of exile transformed into a beacon of hope, guiding them to realms uncharted and destinies yet unwritten. With every step taken, every alliance forged, and every star reclaimed, the crew of the Dawn Brigade embraced the promise of a new beginning, a future where freedom, unity, and the indomitable will to dream again would light the way for generations to come.